On August 7th, 2014, I got a phone call from my husband Josh. He had been laid off from a position that he had with J.P. Morgan and Chase. He had worked there 3 years and was part of a nationwide layoff that affected many others. His last official day of work in the office was October 3rd, 2014. He received a small severance package, which we stretched all through the end of the year. But this wasn't his first time to be laid off. It was his third time in the past 10 years. Day after day, I watched him diligently applying for jobs online and taking whatever side jobs he could do to keep our family going. He refused nothing. We were really blessed, considering the circumstances, to have had such a wonderful fall and holiday season. God not only provided all of our needs during that time, but He also blessed us with our hopes and wishes, especially where our children were concerned. We were even able to take our annual Christmas trip to Disneyland, which we had prepaid for back in May. It was really quite an amazing time for our family. When we rang in the new year of 2015, we really believed that something else was going to come up. Day after day passed, and Josh kept trying, never giving up that God would open up that one door for him to go through and have a good, steady job again. But day after day, no job came. We knew that this was a test for our family. In June 2009, we founded a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, called the Hug-A-Bear Children's Project, Inc., which is a ministry to assist children in need here in the U.S. and internationally. Many people wondered why I didn't go out and get a job to help the family. But the truth was, I did have a job. I just didn't make any money at it. Our organization has over 1,000 children that depend on the work that we do to help raise funds for their needs, and I couldn't just walk away from that. Josh did not want the lives of our children and also the work that I do for other children to be interrupted or altered in any way. He wanted me to continue to homeschool our 3 kids and to keep on with my work to help take care of other children too. So prayer became our means of his support, and God answered. Right from the very beginning in January, when our severance package had run out, God used the hearts of amazing, giving, generous people to help sustain our family. Miracles, such as an old friend we hadn't seen in 6 years, who contacted Josh to take him to lunch and gave him $3,500 because God told him to. There were also miracles who came through people who volunteered to pay for our children's tuitions for classes in gymnastics and taekwondo, so that they did not have to stop their studies and give up their dreams. There were other people who brought us food, people who paid for our kids to have a birthday party, someone who came to just bring a couple $100 or more, or bring us gift cards, or bring us both, because they said God laid it on their heart to give to our family. Person after person and blessing after blessing came throughout this entire year, enough to sustain our bills and keep us from having to leave, as our children call it, the little gingerbread house. It really was an incredible year, and nothing but the pure evidence that Jesus does listen to our prayers, and He does move for us. One of the most amazing miracles came one night right after I had a phone call with my mother. It was the end of July in Phoenix, which means it was hot. And I had just told her that I didn't know how I was going to continue on with my music ministry projects for the Hug-A-Bear organization unless God provided us with a new vehicle. Both of our cars were just old, worn out, and neither one of them had air conditioning. My children never complained, but it was hard on them, and it was hard on us to put them in that hot car. And we were really desperate for the Lord's help. Once again, God answered, and the help came. That very night that I had had that conversation with my mother, Josh received a message that a family had bought us a car. Actually, it was a minivan. It was used, but in excellent condition, and it has the coldest air conditioning I have ever had in a vehicle. Our children love that van so much that it means much more to us than a brand new vehicle, and it will always be a memory for them of how God answers prayer and His timing is always perfect. Our children named that van, and we call it Hope. My favorite Christmas movie has always been It's a Wonderful Life. In fact, some people do not know that I have based my Huggabears book series upon that movie. I love the story of a man who had hopes and dreams for his life, but they didn't turn out at all like he planned. But in the long run, he learns that the life he has was much more successful and wonderful than he even knew. My favorite part of the story is at the end, when George Bailey is in trouble and his family and friends quickly come to his aid. It wasn't hard for me to have tears well up in my eyes when I watched the ending, no matter how many times I've seen it. My heart was always impacted by the love expressed in the story. But now when I watch it, I am much more affected by it, for I am reminded of what we experienced during this past year. My husband Josh was in fact a George Bailey, and our friends and family, because of their love and obedience for God, came to help us during our time of trouble, and we are still being blessed. Even though Josh does have a job and our immediate bills are paid, we sunk into a pretty deep hole during the past 491 days that he didn't have a job, and also during the past 10 years. But the Lord is still bringing people to help give us and our children blessings, such as a birthday party that we just had for Samuel, and also that we are going to be able to give our children a happy Christmas.
So what was the biggest miracle that impacted you in this past year?
Probably when we got a new car, because we haven't had air conditioning, like, never, and unless we were using someone else's car, and so that was a great miracle.
That was a great miracle. So tell me what happened.
So you told me that we were getting a new car, and I was like, and I didn't know what that meant at first, and so when she said an actual car, I'm like, who gave it to us? And then we just run into the car and then drive down, and we got it.
You were excited. We love that little car, don't we?
Yes, we do.
It's a great blessing. And you were also concerned about if we were going to have to move, weren't you?
Yes, I mean, last time my dad lost his job, we couldn't afford our house, and we had to move in with our grandma, so it was tough not knowing if we would get to keep our house or not.
The people blessed us, huh? What do you want to say to them?
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Tell me what impacted you the most about people giving to us this year.
There's quite a few things, but probably the car that we got.
How did that make you feel?
When my mom came in from the backyard, and she was like with her computer running around, go get dressed, we're gonna go get a car. And we were like, what?
It was a big miracle, huh?
Mhm. And we're like, who gave it to us? But I'm not supposed to tell, so.
No.
And so we get in the car and we go, and it was a minivan, and it was awesome.
We love that
because
car.
at the time we didn't have any air conditioning, and now our car.
And it was summertime in Phoenix. That's hot,
Mhm.
huh? Yeah, you guys were miserable, but you never complained.
And so we get in the car, and then we're like thinking of names for our car. And so we think of a name, and our dad says, how about Hope?
That was
and
perfect.
We named our car Hope.
Yeah. And what other miracles did you say that you had?
Like getting $300 in the mail,
That was
getting
a big one.
$20 from our friends, a lot of friends, and the money for the rent, and...
What about your Taekwondo classes? You didn't have to quit, did you?
Nope.
And that was a miracle too, huh? You're grateful for that?
Mhm.
Now you're going to be a black belt soon.
Mhm.
I'm excited. So what do you want to say to all those people?
Thank you.
Thank you for giving. So how did some of the miracles that you experienced this year, how did they make you feel?
Really good. I was super happy about a lot of them.
And touch your heart?
Mhm.
What were some of the ones that blessed you?
Like the one where we got a new car.
That's pretty big, huh?
This family just gave us a car.
It was beautiful, huh?
It was so wonderful.
Tell me about some other things that you experienced.
Like the gymnastics. To know that someone had sponsored me for a whole year. And not just the booster club fees and the late charge and competitions, but the classes.
It's very
all
expensive.
Year.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That was a big, big miracle.
Yeah.
And how much did that mean to you?
A lot. I was so happy. And I still am.
And so when you learned that you were going to have that all year, how did that...
Well, gymnastics is part of my dream to go to the Olympics, so when I prayed and Jesus answered me for that, that was a big deal to me.
It was a very big deal, something you'll remember all your life.
Mhm.
Do you believe God answers prayer?
Mhm.
Especially after this year?
Yeah.
And now what has it made for you? What do you want to do in exchange now that you've been on the other side of the receiving? Does it make you want to...
It makes me want to give to other families who can't do what we've been able to do all this year. Because all these families that have given to us, I want to do the same to other people who wouldn't have been able to do what we've done all year.
And bless them.
Mhm.
And help their children. So what do you want to say to the families that gave to all of us?
Thank you, and God bless you all.
Yes.
Hi, I just wanted to take the time to say thank you to each and every one of you for your words of encouragement over the last year, almost a year and a half, when I wasn't having any success after applying for probably well over 200, 300 jobs. I lost count. I actually was keeping track for a while, but I lost count. But thank you so much for all of your support, whether it was financial, whether it was offering work, whether it was just words of encouragement. We really appreciate it. I wish each and every one of you a wonderful and blessed 2016, and it's going to be a great year for us, and I hope it's a great year for you. Thanks. Bye.
There really aren't the words to adequately describe how grateful we are for all of the love, support, encouragement, financial gifts, and prayer that we have received during this time. Our family has been transformed by it for the better. This experience has definitely enlarged our hearts for more giving, and hopefully it will make us better givers in what we do for others in the future. And so from the bottom of my heart, I give you the most sincere thank you.
God bless you and Happy New Year! God bless you! God bless you all!
God bless us, everyone.
Everyone!
Everyone.
And happy holidays from the
Scene.
Look into my eyes. God bless you all. Look into
Good night.